lesson we're going to work on operations with functions. So you'll see that we're given two different functions here, f of x and g of x. And here they're just going to have us combine these in certain ways. So we're going to learn to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them. They should be fairly simple problems. So the first one says find f plus g of x. All they want us to do here now when they say find f plus g is actually add f to g. So you're going to be combining like terms. So to show my work, I would say f plus g of x equals, and then I would just write f of x, and I would go ahead and add g of x. All I have to do then, because there's no multiplying or anything else in this problem, is add like terms together. So 3x squared plus 2x squared would be 5x squared. 7x minus 1x would be 6x. And then I have only one constant, so minus 1. So when I put these together, that's it. The other thing we could do is subtract. So they're saying take f minus g. Make sure you pay attention to the order here because it does matter. So when I'm taking f of x minus g of x, I would write f of x again. And then I'm subtracting the entire quantity of g of x. So make sure you put that in parentheses. You then, instead of rewriting, you could just distribute this negative. So I'm going to make this a plus, and I'll distribute the negative to all three parts. Then, once I get it like that, it's just another addition problem. So I'm going to go ahead and add like terms together. 3x squared minus 2x squared would be 1x squared. 7x plus 1x is 8x. And then again, I still have that one constant, which is a plus 1. So there's my answer for subtraction. Whoops. The next one then is to multiply. You'll notice this is going to become kind of important with our next lesson. This is a multiplication symbol right here, right? And it's a closed circle. That's important to pay attention to. If it's a closed circle, it means multiply. If you have an open circle, that's what we're going to talk about in our next video lesson. So make sure you're paying attention to see if the circle is open or closed. This is saying take f times g. So we find f times g of x. I would write down f of x, and then I would multiply that by g of x. Notice for this problem we have a different g of x and f of x. So now as I'm going to multiply this, I would start by distributing the 3x squared to both terms. So I have 3x cubed minus 12x squared. And then I'm going to distribute the negative 2x to both terms. So I have negative 2x squared plus 8x. And then lastly, I'm going to distribute the 1 to both terms. So plus 1x minus 4. And then my same notation here. My last step then would be to add like terms. So I'm going to add my x cubes. I only have 1. Add my x squareds together, so I get negative 14x squared. 8x plus 1x is 9x. And then I have one constant still, which is the minus 4. So there's my answer for multiplying. And then the last one we're going to do is division. This one's saying find f divided by g of x. So I would write my f as my numerator, divided by my g of x, which is x minus 4. Now, for what we're learning right now, this is all you have to do with this problem. There is more you potentially could do with this problem, but we're going to learn about that in Chapter 9. So for now, I'm not going to try to teach that and make it seem kind of confusing for one problem. So we're going to leave it like this, just realizing that we will learn a different way to solve this as we keep moving through the course. So for this one, literally put f in the numerator, g in the denominator, and that's your answer. The other thing I might point out is some of you might be noticing that whenever you have a variable in the denominator, there's going to be values that x can't equal. So for this example, think of a number that x couldn't be. So if x was 7, my denominator would be 7 minus 4, 3. That's not a bad denominator, right? Can't my denominator be anything except what number? What can't I divide by? 0. So what number would make my x be 0? So remember, if you take 2 divided by 0, that answer is undefined. You cannot divide by 0. So what value of x would make my denominator 0? Hopefully you realize 4. So we would, for this one, eventually, for now it's okay to leave it, but I just kind of want to introduce you to this concept for when we learn it later. I would say that x cannot equal 4 for this problem. Any other x value will be fine, but it cannot be 4 because then you divide by 0 and you can't do that.